That's not a problem, Chair. The only problem that I have is that my documents are now mixed. I wanted them earlier so that I can sort them out. Can I request Company Secretary in the meantime to be my eyes? Then I will respond to questions. Company Secretary, please be my eyes.
Thank you. The first question that the PCC has requested information on was the implementation of the recommendations of the Public Protector's report when governance and ethics fail. From the presentation, you will note that the board approved the submission of a detailed implementation plan with supporting documents relating to the improvement of governance throughout the SABC. This was submitted to the Public Protector on the 22nd of August.
I thought it will be done differently. I thought the chairperson of the board needed the documents to be sorted out and so that you can make the presentation.
We can't read, so I thought I'm wasting my time by sorting.
Oh.
Then if you can just give me a minute or so, I'll be done. And I approve this, Chair.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I think, members, it's proper that the chair presents the presentation himself, because the company secretary will only read, maybe the chair will read but also expand on some of the issues. Another member, Honorable Mbinda, walked in, Member of Parliament. You can say yourself, Africa. You can introduce yourself.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I'm Honorable Mbinda and I'm a member of Parliament. Of course, I represent my organization.
My name is Fana Mukwena. I represent the EFF as a member of Parliament. Thank you.
Okay. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. The first thing that I want to deal with is the Western Cape High Court Davis J. The matter related to Democratic Alliance and SABC. The Democratic Alliance was against the appointment of Mr. Mtswening as Chief Operating Officer. So they believed his appointment was irrational and unlawful. I want to also make mention of the fact that, Chair, it is important to create a clear distinction between the appointment of Mr. Mtswening to the COO position, which the DA challenged, and his employment at the SABC. A clear distinction has to be made. We all know that Mr. Mtswening was an employee of the SABC at the time he was appointed as the COO, and further that he was also an executive prior to that appointment. What Judge Davis found to be irrational, Chair, and unlawful was the appointment as COO, not his employment with the SABC. As far as the SABC is concerned, the employment of Mr. Mutwening to the SABC has never been challenged until he was appointed as the COO. Maybe I also need to read the paragraphs 52 and 53. In print is pages, it's page 28. It states, paragraph 52, there is a further implication which follows therefrom. As indicated earlier, the case is not about Mr. Mutwening, and I want us to underline that, Chair. The case has never been about Mr. Mutwening. Mr. Maneki, who appeared together with Ms. Raja on behalf of first to third respondent, submitted in his careful argument that there is no basis by which this court could determine the outcome of this disciplinary hearing. I want that as well to be underlined. Accordingly, if Mr. Mutwening is acquitted of all of the charges which are to be determined by a disciplinary tribunal, it was possible that he could be, he could then be considered for appointment as a permanent COO of the SABC. In other words, it would be a bridge too far to grant the applicant relief within the terms sought, namely to direct the board to recommend the appointment of suitably qualified COO within 60 days of the order of this court, and hence ignore the outcome of the disciplinary process. That was paragraph 52. And 53 says, much has been made by respondents of Mr. Mutwening's achievements at the SABC and unique ability to be the COO of the SABC. If it is properly shown that none of the allegations made against him are sustainable, it would be unfair and hence premature at this stage to preclude him from such consideration. In summary, it is preferable to allow the relevant disciplinary proceedings to run its course and to reflect this finding in the order. Hence, I agree with Mr. Maneki so that this is the prudent course of action. Accordingly, I propose to tailor the order which is to be granted accordingly. Mr. Mutwening went through a transparent and independent disciplinary hearing, and he was cleared of all the charges, Chair. Based on the ruling above from Davis in the Western Cape High Court, case number 12497/2014, Mr. Mutwening ought not to be excluded from applying for the position of the COO once it is advertised. In fact, the ruling did not, Chair and honorable members, exclude him from being appointed as the acting COO. What we also have to bear in mind, Chair and honorable members, is that in an earlier judgment, Judge Skiepers made a comment that he makes no findings on whether or not Mr. Mutwening was guilty of improper conduct, maladministration or abuse of power. But instead, he ordered that Mr. Mutwening be subjected to a disciplinary hearing that will be chaired by an independent chairperson. Chair, it is common knowledge that the SABC went beyond that by ensuring that both chairperson and the initiator were independent people. We even conducted this hearing live so that there wouldn't be any aspersions cast on SABC. During the disciplinary hearing, Mr. Mutwening was not found guilty chairperson. That is the first matter that I wanted to address. Now let me address the second matter, which is about the Supreme Court of Appeal. The Supreme Court of Appeal, Chair, subsequently found no basis to interfere and dismissed the appeal because there were no prospects of success. The prospects of success was or is relating to the fact that the appointment was considered to be irrational and unlawful and has nothing to do with Mr. Mutwening being an employee of the SABC. The third matter, that of Mr. Aguma, that he is laboring under an incorrect understanding that he has the necessary authority to appoint Mr. Mutwening as a group executive without reference to the board and without reference to the human resource and employment policy and procedures of the organization. Chair, here without any consideration of the damning allegation that Mr. Mutwening is the recipient of a substantial amount of money from the SABC without lawful reason, which allegation the public protector saw fit to investigate, and without any appreciation of the law and the principles of good governance, that the appointment of Mr. Mutwening, albeit that Mr. Aguma does not require board approval. This approval will have the intended or unintended consequences of subverting the rule of law. Clause 13.8.1 of the Memorandum of Incorporation, MOI, it stipulates the following, Chair. It stipulates that the powers to appoint and to discipline staff and members of the SAB management team are delegated to the GCEO, CFO, and COO, and can only be revoked by the minister. This requirement is included under clause 4 of the Delegation of Authority Framework, DEF, regarding the appointment of the members of Group EXCO and top management on levels 110 and 115, and stipulates the authority granted by the MOI with the following business context. Appointment of all employees is subject to human resources appointment processes and budget approval for the position. The powers to appoint and to discipline staff and members of the SABC management team are delegated to the GCEO, CFO, and COO, and can only be revoked by the minister, MOI, that is 13.8.1. As a board member, I want to indicate that board members have approved the DEF. So what the GCEO, COO, and CFO did was within their powers to do so. I'm just scrolling down to go to the next point, Chair. What is the other thing? My documents are good. Which other point? What is that point again? Which one? Chair, I think in a nutshell, those are the issues that you wanted us